y'all doing? We are here with, a live chat. I wanted to open it up and we can talk a bit about more of the astrology. And we were talking about this earlier, but yeah, I thought we would talk a little bit more because these energies are rather intense. Hopefully you like the jazz in the background, by the way. But yeah, these energies are rather intense. We have the first quarter stage moon, and we've got a lot of energy that is, coming up, but specifically to be like closed out in a way. The first quarter sort of takes the new moon, and it sort of then casts it, so it's sort of like a bubble of energy. And so sometimes the first quarter can be a little bit intense, and it can hit on what we got coming through at the last new moon. So this was an eclipse. It's kind of crazy. You're not alone. If there was a lot here that's coming up at this time, that's sort of like feeling intense again. And but I wanted to sort of mention that. And yeah. Nice. You guys like the music? So yeah, guys. Also some updates. I'm thinking of moving. This is like getting more serious. I'm really thinking of moving back to more East Coast. So we'll see. But I'm feeling guided on that, and I know we've been talking about this for quite some time, but I think I'm just gonna have to make the push and just do it. I'm thinking of moving back to New York. Yeah, because I'm just feeling way too random in DC, and I'm just not clicking with the city. I think the time is up, and we did what we could do here. We, really sort of held the grid, but I think it's time to go a little further out and sort of expand the horizons a bit. And DC's just gotten very limiting personally for me. So I think it's going to be time pretty soon. Of course, we'll visit before then because you never know, but yeah. Truth is, I never really wanted to leave New York when I was living in New York. This was a few years ago, and I literally got ripped out of the city. I was living there and I was loving it, and then my job was horrifyingly exploitative and I wanted to get the fuck out of the job, but I loved the city and I knew that I wanted to come back. And so I think it's time to kind of circle back. And oddly enough, I got kind of boomerang to DC, and it wasn't really even really where my heart was at, but I ended up staying here because my sister was here. So yeah, it's a little bit of a breakup with DC. At least we have the jazz playing. So I think we just have to be honest with ourselves, and it truly made sense for the time being. I think during this period, again, I'm gonna have to visit New York again, but on the whole, I don't know. I think New York is more similar to LA. It has a lot more that I resonate with than DC. So yeah, I think it's just rally time. and it's been time, but I obviously kind of like guess needed to experience some things here. But yeah, fun fact of the story is that I was going to go start a startup, and then I left New York because of that. And so I went back home and like really didn't want to, but my dad was like, well, why don't you like move back, of course, right? Like while you're doing something like that. And I was like, but I just didn't really want to leave. But you know, the city is hard if you're like not going to be, you know, really kind of grinding and having, like, if you're not going to be working a normal whatever 9 to 5, it would definitely be like very challenging. So and yeah, and at the time I was also going through like a certain relationship experience, and so, you know, whatever is meant to be happens, like you end up clearing out, and like, but I remember that I had left with the feeling of I'm going to be back. So for whatever it's worth, I think socially, like, and I know socially, like New York is, well, I'm way more like connective and receptive in New York when it comes to like social energies. Like I have so many fucking friends from New York. Like I've purposely avoided making friends in DC. So it's like just not me. I think that's just the point. And for whatever reason, like I just don't feel comfortable here. So it was a necessary stop. We made it, but it's time to move out. And so yeah. Whoa. I got the alert on my earbuds. It says Mercury. We just got into Mercury hour. So yeah, how's that for an idea? But yeah, guys, I mean, like, this is something that, yeah, and like, I've never really felt that way about a city. I mean, except for cities in Italy, like, but other than that, like, when I was moving out of Boston, I was ready to move out of Boston, and I knew that I was done with Boston, and why, like, that city, I lived my time through there. And I've known that I haven't felt like LA was really where I wanted to be at. And so, and I'm really feeling like I'm almost like fucking stuck in DC. So that's just not a good vibe, but even though there's a reason for why I'm here, but it's not like, I don't, like, I want to just be open and honest here. Like, I don't deserve that as well. Like, I don't deserve to feel like uncomfortable where I live. Right? So, and the issue in a way is like, when I was moving out of LA, when I first started the YouTube channel, I actually first wanted to go to Greece, and that was my plan. I was going to go to Greece. Yeah, right, Supergirl. Like, the jazz is playing on the headphones now. Huh? Okay, sorry guys. The sound, yeah. Yeah, like, I've heard about Richmond, Virginia, but I just keep coming down to it. Like, I can't do suburban world, and it's just, I can't. I gotta be around people, and I know that, but like, for example, like, okay, so I was gonna go to Greece. My plan. But then I was like, I don't know if I want to just go off to Greece, and like, I didn't really want to do that, but I wanted to do that, if that makes sense. And it just, the plans ended up falling through. Like, I was going to go alone, and then my city, I was reading Mimi's going, yeah, city girl, right? And then like, yeah, and my sister was going to like tag along, and then my parents were going to tag along, and then it became this whole big thing, and then it ended up just not happening. So Greece didn't happen, and then we had like some kind of trip to go to in New York, and then my sister was going back to school in DC, and so yeah, we were like headed back, and I headed back with my sister, and I knew I didn't want to be in LA anymore for sure. So I was like, well, I'll at least be in her city. So I kind of like compromised a little bit, but we first visited New York, and I was like, I want to be here. I don't want to be in DC. So, but then we got like kind of, yeah, then we went back with Natasha, and we were back here in DC. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll still be like around her. And so, yeah, I was like, maybe I'll live here. So I got like an Airbnb for a period of time. And then I got like a little like, you know, apprentice housing. And then I had like a studio, and then I have a different studio, and I'm like still had, and she's like not even here anymore, and I'm just like all alone here, like in a city where I don't feel I want to integrate with people. So I'm out, and this is like over. So yeah, I gotta like end this chapter, because our synastry, my synastry with DC is in such a way where I literally I could be here for a fucking ever. I could be here for a fucking ever, and I'll just be here forever, and evers and evers and and it's just gonna be like all of this, you know, timelines upon timelines. And like, honestly, I have my south node here, I've got my north, I've got my Saturn, I've got my Chiron. The Saturn, I've got my moon. The Saturn placement, I don't have my Chiron on the map, but in terms of synastry, yeah, I have a Saturn Chiron contact with DC. So I'm not gonna do this to myself anymore. Like, I don't deserve this. And I feel like I need to just come out and say this, like, even just for myself, like, I don't deserve to have a connection to a city where I'm not fulfilled in that place. So whatever chords connect me to this place, like, they're going to cut, and like, it's gonna have to end. So I don't know what that means for anyone, maybe, but yeah, it's just got to be over. Because you do have chords to cities, and so yeah, it's time to push the baby out. And I know that like we've been doing grid work and stuff, but yeah. So what else though? Yeah, because I think like cities have personalities as well, and I feel like I've been in a marriage that like truly I'm not in resonance, you know, and so yes, I'm not in resonance, and I need to break up. We need to break up. Yeah. Need the vacuum, right? Yeah. So what the plan is, basically, yeah, but to go back to it, like, so what happened was literally like, I was saying we have a Saturn Chiron contact. So if I do not leave, like, it's a duh, like, it's going to feel like moth to the flame-ish. So until I cut that, and like, honestly, yeah, any experience really I've had here has been kind of like, there's been a lot, it's been very Saturnian, very like Chiron, very like, and it's like, okay, there are experiences, but like, I'm ready to enjoy my life. I need to enjoy my life. So yeah, it's just like a karmic place, and everyone has, you know, their shebang. But this happens to be it for me with DC. And yeah, so I think the contract is up, and I'm looking back at New York City. So that's kind of like, I don't know why I feel like I need to prepare the channel for that, but this is just like what I'm feeling guided to share. And I usually don't talk about my personal life to that extent, but yeah. And so that's the history. And literally, like, yeah, get those divorce papers. Right, Caitlin? Yeah. Like, I've never felt this, like, secluded. I mean, there's a reason, but it's time to start getting out of that shell, I think. With that. Yeah. But sometimes you feel like in life you go through experiences like, maybe I want to experience more of this, maybe I want to experience more of that, like, and you push, like, you push yourself through those experiences. Yeah, roll the credits. Got the jazz music playing. This is reminding me, you know what this is reminding me of? This is reminding me of that pick a card stack reading, where it's like, you just don't feel comfortable with this person. You just don't feel comfortable with this person, and you want to leave. So that might be like my heads up. Yeah. And that's maybe interesting because, like, you know, sometimes shut up. Like, I swear. No, it's like, there's something about the energy is just, guys, like, it's just all like, it's just not in resonance. Like, I know that New York would have 10 times the number of honks, but there's something, it's like, you know, right, like, I gained what I needed, and I definitely gave, you know, to DC, and we had an exchange, and now it's like bada boom bada bang, like, I'm not gonna be here for the long haul, like, for that kind of, yeah. So time to, like, let it pass, let it move through. And And I really think that, yeah, like, you gotta reach for the stars. Like, why not? Like, move to the place that you really want to be at. Like, honestly, I think when it comes down to it, like, I'd be in New York, not to say that I don't appreciate, like, the countryside, but yeah, like, Europe, but like, I've been there and I could have gone back and it just didn't feel right for me. Like, I'll be honest, I lived in Italy for like, I'm not gonna rag on Italy, but I lived in Italy for like a year and I loved it. But I did leave feeling like, wow, I appreciate America. No, I really left like that, you guys. Yes, feeling that way. Like, there is like, something about America, I'll be honest, in terms of what I have picked up on over time. And I mean, I was in Paris for a week. I was doing an internship there. I was working there. Like, there's something about the US. I feel like, you just call me Natalia. Put an H after T and I'll be back in Europe with that. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Honestly. Like, I don't think I would want to be there. Like, it's even the fact, I've thought about it. Maybe, okay, fine, I'll live in like Europe, but too many factors, and I would have to like get a job, like a literal job there, and you have to deal with the visa, and then you're not speaking the language, and like, okay, you can pick it up, but like, yeah, I mean, I was fluent when I was living in Milan. I was like pretty fluent. And I was like able to get by, but you still have like experiences and, but it's beyond that. I think it's more like this for personally myself, like it's the psychology of a place. Like, I love that America is so open-minded, and there is an inherent, at times there is a very strong controversy. Well, you can also say that in America. I mean, what is America? But personally, I love the coasts. Not to bash on any place, but open-minded places, right? So yeah, and it's just something like, I've never felt so free in New York, like as I have in New York. I've never felt that free anywhere really, I think, in the world. So I feel like that's me. That's my philosophy. Like, you can be in Manhattan on the subway. You can see someone wearing like a $500,000 like fur fucking coat holding onto the subway rail, and there will be someone right next to them who is, like singing for change. So that's something that I think is like really fucking awesome. And not that people should have such disparity, but at least that we are integrated like that. I think that it's a place that opens people's minds to a whole lot, and you could be like anyone you want to be in New York, and no one's gonna like look at you weird. You unfortunately get that in a lot of places in other cities, and so that's something that personally, that's why I personally want to be there, and that's what takes me back there, like energetically, is that. So, and yeah, sure, LA, people love LA. It's very international, and like it's very this and that, and but there's like such a yuppie guppy energy there that is like, oh, we're like gonna charge you like $50 for chocolate because it's like, organic, and it's like, that's a huge turnoff. Okay, yeah, I mean, you can get the same in New York, but like, it's just a different vibe. I don't know. I think like there's more like, let's get down to it, like not like, oh, it's a whole vibe. It's like entertainment. So that's a turn off to me. So I'm turned off by like, oh, thank you so much for the super chat. I saw that. I registered it. I was like, that's so kind. And I was like, still talking. Owl's Eye Tarot 77. Yeah. Thank you so much for your support. I think organic is amazing, but we shouldn't be like playing like it cool. Like, oh, it's so cool to spend $20. And I've seen people like buy one smoothie and like walk out with that smoothie. It's like $30. This is in LA. And then they have like a cigarette in the other hand. And like, it's not for the health. It's for like the image. So for myself, like, I think that I was really turned off by a lot of what I saw in LA. No judgment, love and light to everyone. But I just think that, I don't know. I feel there's an honesty and a heartbeat in New York that I have not found anywhere else. So yeah. And DC it's got its like snazzy energies, but I feel weird. I feel weird in DC. Like, I feel like a weirdo here. I feel like that's okay, but I'm ready to have more of like a social life and like to feel comfortable interacting with people. And I think like it's honestly time to be open to that. So yeah, this is where I'm at right now with that theory. Like, honestly, I mean, this is something that took a lot of time for me to get to, Sean. It took a lot of time for me to get to this point to like accept that, you know what? No, like, this is how I feel, and like I'm gonna just go for it, you know, because there's no reason why somebody should be in a place that they don't resonate with. So yeah. The mouse died. But like, no one would look at you strange in New York. Like, I don't care what you're doing, like what you're wearing, what you're doing, like no one's gonna look at you and like give you a bad vibe, you know? So another thing about LA is that the smog is out of fucking control. And honestly, I feel like I'm gonna be controversial here. I'm gonna say it. Like, I feel like if you're gonna live in LA in a city like that and contribute to like that kind of system, what's going on? Like, are we not embarrassed? Like, I think that has to be honestly boycotted. Like, people need to boycott Los Angeles, okay, until they get their shit together. Because, listen, you have to like drive your car just to get somewhere that's like should take you 15 minutes, and then you're sitting in traffic for 45 minutes because their system doesn't work. Their system doesn't work. So honestly, I don't know. From that standpoint, it really irritates me that people don't have a problem with that. And they're like, yeah, it's all good. I'll sit in my car. Okay? And just contribute to the thick, you know, line. Like, how can we feel okay with ourselves like that? I think it's just, we have to think a little bit about things personally. But I don't want to, like, you know, I mean, this is just like this is what I felt like. And I honestly think that like places attract people, and like I found that I just don't resonate as well with like many of the people who I meet in LA. Like, it's a lot of the vibe. I don't know. And everyone's like, oh my god, but like LA is so tarot. It's like, but I'm not. This is like, it's, yeah. I don't know. Like, love and light. I know I'm like mean right now, but like I'm just me right now. It sounds like, but it's just, I don't know. I'm like making my decision. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. There's a stagnating energy in LA that just gets me like really depressed. I feel super depressed in LA. And yeah. I feel alive in New York. So it's like, why should I be ashamed of that? I should just go for that. I should make no excuses. You know? In fact, I probably shouldn't have even like really left New York to begin with if that was really what I wanted to do. But I was like, yeah, I guess I just get rid of my apartment and just move back, and yeah. It's like, huh? No, like, but I did grow. There was a reason for that. And there was a lot that came from that. Obviously, there's a reason. If it happened, that was meant to be. But yeah, I'm ready to go back to where it feels like home. And like all my family, well, I got a lot of family in New York too, but I have like a lot of family. I have no one in DC. I'm like isolated. And there's a side to that I can appreciate. And there's a reason for that as a light worker to be isolated, especially from family, because there are very much karmic energies there. But still, I don't want to be without absolutely anybody, you know? That's another level. And so that's where it's kind of karmic, like, you know? Yeah. So So yeah, we'll see. You know, we'll keep an open mind. We'll see. We'll travel. We'll visit. But most of all, we'll be brave and we'll admit what is not working for us. Like when it really stops absolutely working for us. Let's clear it around. If you pull the magician card now, sober girl. Who remembers from, yeah. Anyway, so there's a lot of, yeah, energy shifting, and everybody has, you know, also like a place that calls them. And I think you should never like hide that from yourself. So I'm gonna open it to the chat. Like, does anybody have a place that they're dreaming of that calls them? And by no means, like, obviously it doesn't have to be New York. It's not like New York is the best place for everybody, you know? But that's just me personally. That's my experience personally. So like a place that you've maybe been to that you want to keep going back to, like where you told yourself and promised, like, I'll be back. Like, do you guys have a place like that? Clear around. Interesting, San Francisco. I also really like San Francisco too. Yeah, that's another place I really, really like, San Francisco. And I just feel like this whole like DC decision is like affecting my subconscious, like honestly. Like the fact that I'm telling you, like my heart was like in New York and we visited, and then we went back to DC because my sister was going back to school, and then I just never went back, but I was like, I really wanted to stay there. And that's in the back of my mind now. Now I feel like disempowered because I did not act on what I really wanted. And so now I'm kind of here as like, you know, an image of like something that maybe even, I don't know, like somebody else wanted, or that I did out of like for somebody else. And so it's not my true decision. I don't want to be here for myself. Chords cut. This is what it needs to be. You got to get ruthless with your personal, you know, truth and your honesty with yourself. What do you really, really want in your life? Yeah. Like for yourself. Okay. Let's clear it. You know? Owl's Eye Tarot says, I'm New York born and raised and I never want to live anywhere else. I know, and some people say like, oh, but you never want to live where you grow up and blah, blah. I don't think that's true. I think some people really, really love where they grow up and they want to stay, you know? I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way about LA. I want to like run away from LA every time I'm there, kind of vibe. But love and light. I mean, there are times where obviously I had experiences and like had the peace, and I'm so grateful, you know? It's a great city overall in a lot of ways, but I just don't resonate, so I have to be honest. So yeah, I think it's time to like illuminate what decisions you've made that are like indirectly disempowering you in your life overall. And honestly, I think it's like the fact that I just made the sheer decision of moving to a city that I actually don't really want to be at. Like, I feel like I'm kind of like enslaved. Yeah, this is how I feel. I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Can you tell? I'm like calling up all my spirit guides. Like, I'm ready. No, yeah. Where's the ladder at? Starships are meant to fly. This is the vibe. Yeah. And like, okay, like some people say, oh my God, I love to be at the beach. Like, you should heed that intuition. If you want to be by water, if you want to be at the beach, you know, heed that intuition. Like, personally for myself, I feel like I got depressed at the beach. This is personally for myself. And maybe it's because I have a lot of water energy. And like, honestly, like when I was in even like Hawaii or, you know, Okinawa, like Okinawa. I got like really depressed after a period of time. Like being by the water all the time, it was getting me like, I have to be like grounded on the earth. So honestly, yeah, gotta put yourself first, Junior. Absolutely, absolutely. Like I made a psychological kind of decision to be here. I was like, well, okay. I really love LA. I really love New York, but like, all right, I'll go to DC. Like, and I had like the most like traumatic experiences here prior to that. Like, what am I thinking? Huh? But it's okay. We made the decision. And that's the lesson. Now I know that I will never be somewhere that I don't resonate with. Yeah. Ayo! Thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you for your comment, your support, love and light. Thank you so much, you guys. I did learn a lot. I learned a lot. Yeah. Right. 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 Yes. But the important thing is like the decisions that you make where, yeah, it's going to be in the back of your mind. And it's like, you know, one decision upon another, then it's all related. So for me, I think like the core, the crux is that I need to pull myself out of the situation where I was not fully empowered in this decision. I felt like it was, yeah, and it wasn't speaking absolutely to me. And I really feel like I'm getting a divorce with the city of DC. This is how I feel. Thank you so much, Precious One New York. It says, I hope you go where your heart desires. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's time, right? And I'm meeting too many creepy people here as well. And that's part of it. Like, I can't, the energy doesn't lie. You know? Yes, I was considering Salem, but I'm not going to be living there. This is not that. Maybe like, okay, you know, but like as a home base, I don't know. I want to be in like, I keep getting back to it. So Golden Aura says life just happened. Right? Like I feel it. And like, it's like so important to see like the foundation of your reality right now. Like for myself, I can say, okay, honestly, the basis is like, okay, don't underestimate where you live and why you live there. So I know people have particular experiences, and if you're meant to be in a place, like Spirit will have you there. But I think it's important to think about where you feel you can really be you. And so personally for myself, like I feel like the fact again that I'm in DC has like I've never made these decisions that I've made in DC like ever. Like let's clear the energy ground. Like living in DC has been an overall like lifestyle that no. Like in Boston, the weather would be 3 times as cold, okay? And I would walk in my boots to go get groceries. And I would take a 30-minute bus, and then I would get off and I would take my groceries, and I would walk through the snow for like 15 minutes. And I was the happiest person on campus, okay? The weather is a third of how cold it is in Boston, here in DC, and I am like not even leaving the house. So honestly, yeah, this will tell you something. This will like tell you something. Like in New York, I would walk 6 hours in a day at least. That's a walking city. That's a walking city. That's where I want to be at. I don't want to be in like the suburbs, unfortunately. Because I don't want to be driving. I don't want to be contributing to that, you know? So yeah, it's been rough. And I love the Four Seasons. This is and let's clear it on the back. Yeah. You can wander in New York. Thank you, Nelly. It's like, I am a Sag goddamn moon. Like, I have to explore. I cannot be like tracing the perimeter of the same block for like 30 minutes. I just can't. I'm gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? Oh my god. I love Chicago. I was there for like a day and I just love Chicago. Yana says, what about Chicago? I love Chicago. Yeah, I really love Chicago when I visited, like for the brief period of time that I was there. So yeah. But let's go. Bye, Jason. Nice having you in the chat. Thanks for connecting here with us. Yeah, no, digital gravity, like, what is with the traffic? Like, isn't this honestly, like, why do we need to drive? Do we really need to drive? Or can we walk? Why do we all need to be in our little bubble of our car? What's the problem with, like, sharing a subway car with, like, other people? This is, like, what kind of, like, that's kind of what irritates. Because I feel like the city and the way it's laid out impacts the psychology of the people who live in that city. Like, and this is truly, like, the case, as even we studied this in our Italian classes. Because Milan is so different from, like, the southern Italy, right? And they would say that the weather even impacts, like, you know, everything in so many ways. In terms of the city itself and the people, like the vibe and the culture of like the Milanese, very different from like Sicilians, you know, or even like more southern Italians, because their actual lifestyle is so different. Like, and so I think the fact that people are not like in their little cubicle bubble, there's so much more integration in New York. It's like I like that much more. I don't like this whole like I'm a Hollywood A-lister. I don't know, guys. I'm just really turned off by that. But this is me. I like the integrative energies. And I even felt that way in Boston, you know? In Boston, like in Cambridge, Harvard Square, like people talk to each other. They're not too good for each other, you know? They actually like integrate. And they're curious and they talk like in cafes, like they actually have conversations and you get to know people, you meet people, your mind expands. So yeah, let's clear it around. Like in LA, there's none of that. It's like kind of sterile, but there's a place for everybody, right? I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. Unless you're like going and partying and want to go to Sunset Strip and Hollywood and like all that. Okay, that's like a thing. If you want to schmooze and like rub elbows and like, you know, how many followers you got on social media, like, all right, like, okay. But like, if it's not you, then just be aware. I don't know, maybe somebody here is thinking of moving to LA. Heads up. But I cannot, I mean, you may have your own experience, of course. But in general, I find that that's like the stigmatic vibe. Like, if LA had an aura, that would be it. It's very like Leo, maybe. But yeah, for myself, I have to feel like truly like vulnerable with the city that I live in. I have to be able to like literally like be myself in any way, like to be able to walk down the streets, okay, walk into stores, you know, look around me, like there are people and there are stores and not like five rows of like empty street, and then you get to one strip where there's like crazy shit going on. In LA, if you want to like walk anywhere, you'll look more or less crazy if you're not in a really, like, people will be like, are you okay? Like they will honk at you. Like it's something like that. So personally, yeah, I think like it makes sense. The decision is very clear. I think you have to understand what your values are, what's important to you, you know? And yeah, I think I just led a lot of a healthier lifestyle as well in New York because I was walking so much. And it was, yeah, it's more like, I don't know, realistic in terms of what the human body is meant to be doing. And yeah, so this is just like a heads up. And even in the winter, like I would be like trekking it. I would like trek it. I don't remember ever feeling like cooped in, and like I was in a basement unit in New York, for God's sakes, you know? So I'm spending too much time indoors here, and that's a message. So yeah, this is like a big check-in, wake-up call for myself that I need to get back into me and who I am, and to, yeah, remember that I have things to do and places to go, and I can't be limited in that. And as long as I'm going to be in this city, I'm going to be limited. So I feel like I'm talking too much. Let's clear the crowd. Let's bring the music up a little louder. But yeah, guys, maybe I'll do like a vlog. I'll do a vlog from New York because I gotta visit before I move. So would you guys be down? Would you want to see like a vlog situation going on? Yeah, I'm just so tired of feeling dorky here. Dorky, super dorky. I thought that said Vegas. Yana says vlogs. Love vlogs. Cool. Maybe I'll do that. Like, still deciding like if I should take the bus or if I should take a train or like fly or something. We'll see. Can't wait to connect with my friends and my family there. Who knows, you know, there must be some kind of weird past life energy here. Only God knows, right? What went down. Yeah. Isn't it so New York, this music? I didn't really think about that, I just played it. So yeah. And I think like we make decisions in our life that we're not really like happy with when we are not happy already, when we're not empowered. So I think it really comes back to like not just the decisions you're making, but like you overall and who you are and where you're at in your life, given who you are. Like, you know, like I wouldn't be sitting here eating this if I lived in New York or a city that I really was like very stimulated by. This is just the true, honest, bare bones fucking facts. You see what I'm saying? Like the fact that I'm even eating this right now, like I don't believe in candy. Okay, the fact that I'm eating this right now is this originates back. This goes back to the root of the situation, which is, but that's on me to make that decision to take myself out of that situation. I need to be the one to be like, hey, Nat, yeah. not weed gummies. I don't smoke weed. I don't do that. I don't eat the weed or do whatever that is. I don't do any intoxicants. I cannot handle that. I'm a Pisces. You know what I'm saying though? Like, let's clear it down back. Like, I gotta be the one to be so strong and brave and say it's time to like end the cycle, because I can't continue doing this. I could be sitting here on a Friday night at 9:02 p.m. Okay, feeling like very lonely and sad, and feeling very bored and not stimulated, having candy. I could, but I could also take myself out of that situation. Yeah, Alicia's like, yeah, stagnant as hell. Yeah, the friend who will tell it to you the way it is. Yeah, Nat, VeggieTales 100. But really, so I gotta slap myself a little bit silly here, okay? Because nobody else is gonna be standing up for me, right? Nobody. And like, I visited New York while I was still living in DC though, and that wasn't enough. Like, it didn't feel right because I wasn't fully committed. I was like, oh, I'll visit. What the fuck? No. Why am I living here to begin with if I don't want to fucking be here? Part of the why I have so much animosity about this decision is because of the experiences that I've had here, and I feel like there are people who have energetic cords who want me to be here. And it's time to like clear those cords. So this is a major like salute to that energy, and for many different reasons. And so sometimes you have to call it out like publicly, and you have to call, not that I planned this, but I was just, you know, I'm feeling guided to do that now. So yeah. Chloe says, I'm in NYC and I'm like, I gotta make the choice to go out. Yeah, interesting. She's like, listen, I'm already at NYC. I have to make the decision even if I want to go out. Yeah, it's true. M3 brain. Yeah, yeah, I'll probably be moving in like a few months. I will visit before then though, to just double check and yeah, and so bye, Owl's Eye Tarot. Ciao, ciao. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your donation earlier. 777, very kind. Thank you for that. Your support. So, and like, we were literally talking about this. You guys remember? Like, we were literally talking about this, like, but from another vantage point where like, it was kind of like, we were saying that sometimes energy continues and you can have like cords to situations and people, and sometimes you feel like guided to go somewhere. Like, remember I was telling you guys, I was like really like fanatic about going to the gym at certain times, and then I was like, why am I feeling like I want to go to the gym? Like, I'm not really wanting to go to the gym, but like suddenly, like every day, at the same time at every day, I would like feel like I need to go to the gym. And there were certain people that were appearing there at those times, and I started to realize, oh, they got an energetic cord. Like, they want to keep like, yeah. So I started to get more clear with that with myself, that just because I feel I have a tug on my energy space of like feeling like maybe I want to go somewhere, I have to check in with myself and say, is that what I want? Is that really what I want, you know? And that includes the city that I live in. So I have to really come back to it and think, like, why did I make this decision to come here? Was there some sort of cord, energetic cord? And yeah, so this is also, you know, it's another level, and I'm just kind of like airing this out for myself. I appreciate you guys listening. But hopefully this is something that will help somebody, but I'm just like kind of exhausting, you know, what I'm really going through, because it's real and it's true. And it's something that I've like grappled with, because I've been like, well, I could stay here, but I should never be, nobody should be in like I could do it, It should be, I know for sure. And this maybe is even applying to relationships. Like, don't have a real relationship with somebody who's you're halfway with if you don't feel it truly in your heart, you know? So yeah, I think like I have to come full circle with that mantra and concept of like, well, let me think back. What was the premise upon which I made this decision to be here? Was it empowered fully? Or was it out of fear as well? You know, because at the time I was like, whoa, go all the way back to New York, but my sister's here, like, it's more comforting. Like, what's that? What is that? We have to be real with ourselves. I barely even saw her while I was here. You're living in Brooklyn, Nirvana Feldspar. So how are you feeling in Brooklyn? Yeah, Brooklyn has its like really like cool parts. I think like for me, like the thing I'm missing the most is like feeling socially integrated, you know? Like feeling like my sacral chakra is open and like wanting to talk to people, being like in your element. The trumpet? That's a good point. M3 brain, yeah. It says, I think with the COVID, a lot of us got socially isolated either by accident or because of all the chaos. Yeah, and that's what I've tried to like be really understanding with like. But I made this decision before COVID as well. But there's a reason for everything, and I know like I asked my spirit guides before the pandemic lockdown. I said, hey, like I want to get out of here. Like, should I move now? And they were like, wait until April. That's when the lockdown happened. So they wanted me here, obviously, during this time for a reason, and I'm still kind of like, all right, when is it gonna happen? You know, when is it gonna happen? And like, we've got like still more to go with the pandemic. So, but I think this is coming up. It's coming up in a few months. I'm gonna be on my way with that. Possibly. Let's go around. We'll see what it is meant to be. Thank you for your. Sean, thank you, very kind. Is that euro? Is it Aussie dollars? What is the capital A? Like I was talking to my sister earlier today. She was like, "Nah, you know, but like you can't get so hard on yourself because a lot of people with the whole like pandemic, like a lot of people feel stuck, like they're not where they want to be at, or they feel like they're feeling random, or they're, you know, so it's understandable. I mean, you know, yeah." It's understandable. But I gotta get out. I still understand, like, that there's a reason, but maybe it's just I'm just being warned that I'm gonna get ready to move. Oh, yes. I feel like Corona was so important for so many reasons. Like, Athena. It's a New York jazz. If you search that, it'll come up. It says Relaxed Jazz Bar Classics. Aww. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of past life energy here, like a lot of karma. The fact that I'm meeting like so many people here who are just, it's a pattern. Cookie cutter. It's like almost person. Like, are you his brother at this point? You know? Like there's, yeah, past life pattern energy. So, which is, oh, by the way, the pick a card reading we have coming. Yeah. So. It's clearing room. Interesting, Kelly. Kelly, you're in New York, right? Austin, hey, you're thinking of moving to Phoenix, right? Yep. I was just talking to somebody about that today. Like, Corona had so many benefits. Like, you know, there were so many confrontations with so many things that had there not been Corona, we would not have really, like, truly acknowledged those things, like, for what they were and, like, addressed them. It's not a guitar, but... Yeah, there's this super stale. It's stale. Montana. Interesting. Austin, you pulled cards on me last time. Should we print out a map and see where the runes land for you? You just said Montana, right? Watch him be like, no, no, not. Set the printer down. No. I'm all here like assuming and shit, ready to print my map out. Guys, I just literally went to map.com. Print free map. Are you considering out of the States? I think last time you said something about Spain with you or something, but you said you don't have any family there. Oh, you're cooking food, so you're not... Okay. These people are shouting outside. Like, I'm becoming a hobbit here. But, like, I could easily be social here. I just don't want to be. So, again, this is taking me to the same... Oh, look at these... Look at those emojis, Brandy. What cute emoji is. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I meant not out of state. Out of the country. Are you considering? Big Ibiza. True. I am big. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah. And I think now I'm just like, look, I'm ready to like expand that, you know? Like, I miss being like talking to like, you know, people in shops and like being like, you know, I got a lot of friends in New York who I miss. The only thing is that I did date someone there, and I did have some experiences there. This a little bit of maybe what I'm just a little bit worried about. Like, I just don't want to like think about those things a little bit. Like, I don't want to be reminded of those things, you know? It was a while, but you know what I mean? Like the nostalgia energy a little bit. But yeah, guys, we're going to visit and we're going to see. Sometimes it's nostalgic only like the first few times, you know? And then like the energy wears away and then it's not nostalgic anymore. Aw, Sober Girl. Yeah, I'm really grateful to have this connection with you guys. Like, truly. But I also feel like I need to be able to give you guys more like of me. And so I have to be like in a space where I'm like exploring more so that I actually have more to give you guys, because I feel like, yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit at a ceiling point. Like, I'm talking to my sister, she's like, nah, your stories are always the same. That's why I gotta be Nigel Thornberry maybe and just travel and just be Nigel with you guys. But that's okay. I'm real. Like, I'm not gonna make like fake stories and like have like a crazy life just to like be that person. Like, I don't have FOMO. I'm good. I'm good. You know? So when it's time for me to make new memories, I will. It's all good. Seriously. Interesting. The human star system, interesting. And like, honestly, you know, like when you're dating people and like the people that you're dating, you know that this is like not your standard. It's like, why am I even like hung up on this person? Like, why am I? And you're just doing things like you would never do in the past. Like, I would never cry like extensively over some guy. I would never do that. In some ways I felt like way, yeah. So honestly, then it's like, but then it comes back to you, like, but where are you at? Like, what's your, you know, like, pull yourself out, like, see more of the world, you know? And this is a message coming through. Yeah. Oh, you think it's going to change with the retrograde, Austin? Really? Let me just get some dinner ready real quick. So, Austin, you don't recommend making like a long-term move decision during Venus retro? I'm thinking like of moving in like February. January, February, March. Maybe like March-ish. Well, I guess that's when Venus will go direct, right? I don't know. I have to look at the astrology though. The only issue is I have to give my like 60-day notice, so I have to be for certain. Otherwise, I'll be here like another 2 months, and then by that time, what's going on out there, man? Oh my god. And you guys, can you believe? What is going on? Alright, can you guys believe that when I was looking at new apartments, because I was like, well, maybe the thing to do is like to just move apartments, you know? Maybe it's the location, I need to change up like the vibe. And I kid you not, like the lady in the leasing office, she was like, oh yeah, like something about, blah, blah, blah. She said Brooklyn Bridge. I was like, huh? Girlfriend, you're talking about New York. She was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know what she said. I don't know why I said that. Can you believe that? She said, sorry, I don't know why I said the Brooklyn Bridge. I meant the so-and-so bridge. Let's turn around. I was like, wow. If that's not a sign. And I literally even told her, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of thinking like, I'm between like, you know, maybe I'm moving to like a different place in DC. She's like the leasing office of this like, you know, place in DC. And I was like, oh, I'm thinking of that between New York. She was like, oh, I love New York. But yeah, these are the options we have. That was it. I was like, yeah. This is spirit being like, hi, what are you doing here? Like, you know, if you're not in resonance, like, love and light. Love and light. It's all good. But, it's just funny. It's funny. Yeah, it was such a sign. I was like, Brooklyn Bridge. Aw, just set your North Star. Yeah. Spooky Pizza, you're waiting until March? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Books Inc. says, I do think the twin flame concept is real in some cases, not that common, but I do think there's something going on. It's some bizarre yeah. How can we say that there's not such thing as a twin flame? This is kind of how I, like, why would we be so averse unless we just are really wanting to, like, deny that certain experiences may be, and they may, or unless we're trying to push some experience away. This is just how I've seen it. Like, I've had enough experiences, like, I'm not saying that I am going to be with my twin flame, but I've had enough experiences where that interaction, or I'm not going to say that I'm not going to be, or whatever it is, okay? I'm not going to put an X on it, but I will say that there are some very toxic energies related to that. It doesn't mean that it's, like, the thing to do. I think the issue is where we say, oh, twin flame means that you are going to, like, you know, be with that person. I think twin flame means that there's obviously a very strong trigger. And if we do really like, yeah, it comes back to your mission. So the question just is like, are you on your mission, on your soul path, life path journey? Then great. Okay. If your twin flame is truly in resonance with you to be with you in that space, then they'll be with you. It's like, it doesn't matter if they're twin flame or not. It's like, you would never force a connection with someone anyways. So if it's not manifesting, it's just not manifesting. There's a reason, but the signs are real. The signs of the twin flame are fucking real. Ask anybody who's been through that. Like, you're not going to come and tell me, like, that that's not real. Like, yeah, because people be like, oh, no, there's no such thing. It's like, please. There are the universe, one day maybe I will, like, show you guys. But, like, I don't know, but we'll see. But the universe has spelled it out more or less. Like, you know, before I even knew anything about twin flames, it was practically, like, writing twin flame all over, like, everything I was looking at. And so there's no way. I mean, those who are skeptical, I think, like, maybe you have not experienced something like that. It can be, or maybe you have, and, you know, you don't want the experience to be in anything, which is, like, understandable. But there is a certain harmony to the universe that brings certain experiences up that can be very triggering. And I do think that there, whatever you want to call it, you know, but under no circumstances should you ever feel like you need to be with someone, period, because that would be, like, so not fair. You have to look at the energy of the experience. Like, am I empowered by this person, period? If I'm not right now, I'm out. Goodbye. That was a triggering experience. You know what I'm saying? Let's clear it. Give me a second, guys. I think the issue is when you get very much, like, caught in the experience of it, which is the point, though. I mean, otherwise it's like, how would you ascend unless someone was able to truly reach into your sort of canvas and, you know, point out certain hues of paint for you, you know, that, yeah, you used it at a certain point in time. That's really the point. You have to be triggered. Anyone who goes through life saying, I don't want to be triggered, like, I don't want to experience, like, tragic experience, like, you're going to be avoiding, like, transformation and change, ultimately. Oh my God. This is falling all over. You know? So I think the point is not to avoid, like, intense experiences, you know? That's where we literally have to be, like, and honestly, like, before I met my twin flame, I looked back at my creative work and projects, and, like, I saw so clearly my spirit eyes were preparing me for that interaction. If you were to even just go look at, like, my Instagram, like, everything leading up to that point was so fucking creepy, spot on in relation to what I was experiencing in the months to come after I met that individual. So it's, like, very interesting from that standpoint of, like, it's an experience. It's not like, you know, a person, an obligation. Okay, it's always a healing experience as well. But at first, when you meet someone that charges you like that at your core, or however it is, or even triggers you, period, so deeply, like, that can be very challenging at first, you know? So it can be, like, very hard. But it's the point, like, you have to feel like you're grappling with something and that you don't understand it. Otherwise, you just forget about that person. We've all been in situations, right? I mean, some people are easier to forget than others. I'm going to be honest, yeah. It's not out of being mean. It's just, you know, it's honesty. The soul contract is over. Like, we did our triggering and we're moving on. But if you're not moving on, I think it's also important to remember that you're not obligated to move on, okay? Yeah, you have to be honest with yourself. If you try and tell yourself, I'm, like, too good to be thinking about this person still, you're not committed to your transformation, right? Which is you digging into your soul. And that's the thing that I wish I had known when I was on the twin flame journey, is that I'm seeing 1441 here, that's something that, like, other people are just not going to answer it. They're not going to be able to answer it for you. They're not going to understand it. Okay, they're going to think you're, like, going bananas, that you're going crazy. they won't get it. You know? They'll be like, oh, you just got to get over them. Yeah. And so it's like, well, who are you to say that I should close myself off to what I'm feeling, you know? So, has anybody gone through the dark night of the soul? I guess it depends, like M3 brain, how many forms you take on. If you are taking on multiple forms, then maybe you would have multiple twin flames. I know that's such a weird answer, but yeah, this is what's coming through. Oh, wow. Who is he? He describes it really well. It's, he's kind of intense. I mentioned him the other day. His name is All-Star Terror or something like that. He explains, like, the dark night of the soul. Like, it's so spot on, personally. Like, he just explains laying in bed. Like, you barely want to get up in the morning. Like, you feel, like, practically, like, just inverted from the inside out. You just feel dead, basically. But, and, like, that whole thing is, like, the breaking down of the ego. Like, you have to feel that way. You know, maybe you were, like, on a path that just wasn't appropriate given where your soul would like to go. So they came and checked in. They may not necessarily be fully aware of what they're doing, though. Yeah, he does have a video with his twin flame. It is pretty interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I saw that video. Hopefully you guys don't hear my slurping. But yeah, so awesome. AKA, is that like your way of saying, like, wow, you're fucking crazy, Nat? That shit, bro. Where? Oh, she got another card out? Oh, what the fuck? Like, where? What? Who? How? When? What? We'll go back to why. Let's hit up one again. Make it stop the weirdness. All right, no, it's for sure. This is just her. All right. Really? Okay, this is so interesting because people they comment, they come to the videos on the channel and have a confession. They're like, listen, they're all like this on the channel. So, like, I gotta be honest. I thought you were crazy. Did you guys catch that? It's buffering? Oh, no. In the meantime, you guys get any of that? Catch any of that? Hello? Hello? Greetings, hello? Let's turn it on. Hello? Wait, what part when did it end? What part did you miss? How much did you get? Greetings, Earthlings. You just got the slurp? Really? Okay, guys, I said, oh wait, be right back. People are like, did you get the point where I said people, they have a moment of honesty, like they have a confession, but they come out like all like this, like they just come and comment stuff on the channel. They're like, so look. But now it's not funny because I'm doing it twice. Aww. All right. So look, well, the point is like they have a confession. They're like, listen, like I thought you were crazy, all right? They have a whole thing. And then they start like later down the comment, they're like, listen, now I'm obsessed with you, okay? They're like, listen. You know how many people? They're like, it's literally, you guys, I have 2 of these jackets. It's a twin flame jacket. No, this one is the one without the tag. Look, this one doesn't have the tag attached. Hold on. I kid you not, guys. I have 2 of the same jacket. It's just, yeah. One of them has a tag thing on because they shipped it during Corona, and I was like not patient enough to exchange it or to take it back and like have them remove it. So like for 2 years I've had the tag on. I don't really wear it. So I gotta do that eventually. But I've just worn the one until this point. That's the other size. But yeah, they have a whole confession. They're like, I thought you were crazy. And they feel bad. I think they feel bad. It's clear. Thought you were crazy. Yeah. It's a whole moment like, I'm sorry, like it sounds like they fucking like hexed me or cursed me and they're feeling like really guilty about that. They're like, listen, I feel bad. I swear I got that vibe. Listen, Nat. First they're all like talking out the side of the comment like, listen. This music. Just thought you were a little crazy, that's all. Listen, Nat, I just really thought you were out of your mind. But then, listen, Nat, it's all good now because I realized that, listen, you're gone to something here. And you really just want to say that you helped me on my journey. It's really interesting. And then they say like that they kind of had realizations of like that the longer they listened, they would have more realizations. Like they were able to pick up on the energy more quickly. Yeah. There's a whole thing. I'm like, it's so guy. Whoa. Every time I see like the proverbial coat, don't worry. I know. I got you. It happens, you know. Yeah. It's like this whole like long apology, like paragraph fucking like not like I fucking like said never again. It's like, and then I came back and I was like, shit, like it was fucking so spot on, like, and then, but not just that, but like it's, I think it's more like a language, you know. And then you're like, wait, yeah, we're talking like, yeah, bro, you know, Pleiadian. Let's clear it. I don't smoke. I don't do anything like that, you guys. Can you imagine? Like, whew. But that's, yeah, partly it's because I know that, like, I am very, very Neptunian. I'm Neptunian. So even even meditation is like, it can feel very, like, Neptunian, you know? So, honestly, it is kind of similar. So I just can't, yeah, it's very similar in a way. Yeah. I can't imagine doing any drugs or anything like that because I'm already like, I can feel ungrounded just by meditating too much, you know? But yeah, my sister makes jokes. She's like, yeah, you did it all in the past lives. So, let's go around. Well, but yeah. It's, like, I've never done, like, psychedelics. And, like, in the beginning of the channel, so many people would come up through, like, assuming I'm on some, you know, and yeah. I mean, you know, you make your decisions. But I just know for myself, yeah. Even drinking, I don't like to drink. Yeah. So, if you got a lot of Pisces, I would be aware. If, like, but you'll gauge it. You'll know, you know? Like, or even a lot of water. Yeah. But I think it's more Neptune. I think Cancer Cancer energy has the tendency to be able to, like, ground more so. Like, I've seen Cancers not get tripped out about stuff, you know, that, like, Pisces maybe would. Let's clear it. Like, I do, though, need to practice grounding. Yeah. Like, because I need to also remember, and this is something I've gotten better with, is, like, I'm not the reading. Because, yeah, that would sometimes get, like, so uncomfortable, because then it's like you have to be able to step back and, like, blur the lines. Like, to have the lines, to blur the lines, to have lines, yeah. And, like, at least even if you're going to blur them, you should still be able to see them and know where they're at. Otherwise, yeah. So, what is going on out there? Oh, you got a square to your natal Venus? And maybe that's why I'm, like, really drawn to Earth energy, because in general, because that's kind of like the complementary energy to what I have, which is, like, more grounding-esque ish. So, like, air for me, I have a lot of air in my chart. If I'm responding to a comment here in the chat. Like, for myself, I've noticed if there's too much air, then I can get kind of anxious about that. Like, if someone is in a lot of air energy / like moon or water, like, because my Mars is in Gemini. Like, if anything, I need to calm down. I'm curious. What do you guys feel like is a complementary energy to me? Like, can you guys, like, what would you feel like on energetically if you had to like prescribe like energy vitamins? What would you say? Like, I feel like some Capricorn would do you well, or I feel like some Leo or some Aquarius or some Virgo. Like, what would you guys prescribe? Let's clear around. Interesting, Maslow. Maslow's like, we're taking the water away. No, not stand back now. It's gone out of control. Oh, with a little Scorpio. Yeah. Thank you for that. Just freaking give me a little Scorpio there. I've come down to it. Like, I feel like, yeah, for somebody to have some Scorpio is like necessary. But honestly, like, I got a lot of Scorpio too. So it's like, how could it be like imbalance, you know? We're not going to like trigger each other kind of vibe. Oh, thank you, Nelly. God damn, Nelly. Thank you. That's so sweet. But I can definitely feel like we're ungrounded at times, or like I have to limit conversations with people who have a lot of air or a lot of water, specifically without grounding. Yeah. Yeah, right, Maslow? Whoa, I smell some kind of perfume here. Whoa. Very like complex notes. Oh my god. Wow. You work with essential oils, Maslow, maybe? Do you? Or somebody in the chat? But like, it was right when I read your comment. You said, I just don't see you vibing with an emotional person, quote unquote. But I don't know you like that. So you don't? Okay. She put an LOL. But definitely in the mystical side. Brittany, right? Listen, yeah. Listen, I fully agree with that. Like, if somebody is, there needs to be some kind of direction with that energy. Like, I think if it's too, like, I've been around a lot of Cancers. Listen, I feel like Aries energy for me, I'm a little bit intimidated by Aries. I'm a little bit intimidated by Scorpio, but I do really like those energies. Like, oh, interesting. Monique says, I can't. Oh, you said you can't. You said I can't see Nat with a lot of air energy. Take it away. Okay. You mean like you can't see me like vibing with somebody with a lot of air? You mean? We should do that. We should do like an astro date, like a little bit like chat roulette-ish. Like pop their I see 3333 there on the clock. Like we pop their birth chart up on the screen, and then like you see us talking, and then you can like vibe check. Yeah. Well, truth be told, Monique, I've had a lot of Gemini friends, but like it never was able to really listen. We can talk forever, but from like an emotional standpoint, Gemini men, I cannot. Like I won't draw a line, but like in the sense of like I felt wronged by a Gemini man one time. And I was really turned off by that. Like the fact of how quackly they could just like pretend like there was no emotion there. Like, and I was good friends with that person. Yeah, that was the part that was a little bit like, how could you kind of be so like, it's like it became kind of normal to not have emotion. Let's clear it. Like that and a Libra man. Okay. 2 particular Hallmark holiday cards for those two. Okay. Love and light. Taurus was very, I had an experience with one Taurus guy, and he was like very, very assertive, extremely like, he wanted to make me his like princess in like 30 seconds. And it was a whole thing. Okay. I was like not ready for that though. But I was like younger and like, Maybe another Pisces. Maybe another Pisces. But Casper, I'm with you on that. Aries woman. Yeah. Hear the slam of the door? There's something about that energy. Like, I just did, yeah. I like the heat of the Aries energy in general. I think I've said this before, actually, yeah. Like, too much Aries in someone's chart can come out, like, a little insensitive. But, like, I don't know. But I do like it because it's playful, you know? It's playful. It's like, let's not take this, like, way too seriously now, you know? I cannot with Cancer, love, and light. I'm talking... Whoa. I'm talking about, like, yeah, I've been with a Cancer, and almost my whole family is Cancer. I've had experiences, and yeah. My sister is an Aries. She makes me cry. She can make me cry. I honestly think I'm really turned on by Aries energy. This is a general statement, you know, but like I think I'm actually turned on by Aries energy. Like my Venus is in Aries, that could be why. But this is just a guess. Like I've been with okay. I have personally found like somebody who has a Mars in Aries to be way too much like vibing, way too much energy. Like you need to calm down. For me personally, which is interesting because my Venus is in Aries. So for a the Mars of the same, yeah, no, it's too much. For the man to have the Mars, this is what I've experienced for myself. It's been too much. And it's been like a little bit like really too much. Yeah. Divine. Grackle. I fucking love Scorpio energy, but I say this all the time. I'm like a broken record at this point, for God's sakes. I have yet to come across like a high vibe Scorpio man. This is what is it like a limited edition Furby? Like, where do you guys find the high vibing Scorpio? Mars and Scorpio. It's clear and ground. I feel like I'm offending people here with this video, but so be it. Yeah, I think like it's partly the fact that it's not like, okay, the Aries to the Scorpio, like it's not so direct and head on. So if somebody has a lot of Mars in the chart or a lot of Scorpio, they will inevitably be hitting on and touching upon my rising, my personal Mars, which is in the house of Scorpio, and my moon, which is in the house of Aries, and yeah, my Venus. So it's like I think the Aries energy diffuses that Scorpio through because it kind of hits on the Scorpio, but it doesn't. Yeah. Andrew, welcome. Thank you for your donation. Wow, love and light. What are y'all talking about? Everything under the sun, and we're also playing some jazz. But yeah, we're talking about like general stuff, compatibility. So, what's your sign, Andrew? You have a lot of Capricorn? That's what I'm starting to realize, Austin Tarot. Says most Scorpios don't evolve until they're old. It's like, I'm starting to think, because I'm not going to make the exception of jumping into like an unevolved Scorpio connection, because that's happened twice, and actually more than that. And it was the most uncomfortable situation because you have such a strong connection with this person and there's way too much volatile plutonic energy, and then it's like and then you have the aftermath and it's like, all right. So now I know when I meet a Scorpio, I'm like, okay, I got you. Like, I feel that. I'm not going for it. Because I can tell when it's that, like, the unevolved Pluto. Where they wanted to get, like, your attention and, like, snap, snap, you know? And then they realize, like, oh, shit. Just more to the story, like. The Watcher. Greetings. Thank you for your super chat. It says, what's a good match for Aries rising Libra sun with Venus and Leo? Thank you for your vibes. Thank you for tuning in. Well, what is your chart? You are, this is you? Honestly, this is such a hard question because we have to look at your whole chart. You know? Like, but in general, you got a lot of Libra. You got a lot of Leo. You got a lot of Aries. You got a lot of fire. You got a lot of Yang energy. But what are the houses? What are the house placements? This is you? Yeah. You got a lot of is there anything that you're very turned off by? Like in terms of either, as an energy? You have Mars and Aries? Do you find like you're kind of intense for a lot of people? First house Aries? Really? You're like extremely Aries, bro. Super duper. Airylicious. Whoa. So you've got obviously you got a very interesting case. Like, you might be really a lot for a lot of people. Is that, I mean, I'll say that in such a sweet way. Like, is it true, though? Like, do you find that, like... Do you sometimes get intense? Okay, do you have your birth information? Can we look at your birth chart? You have your birth city? Do you feel comfortable giving it out in the public chat? With 100 people watching? More? I just gotta put all the disclaimer. Also, is that you? Interesting picture you've got here. For a hot sec, you look like Kanye. What is the yellow thing floating? Oh, you put your information. Let's take a look. Bakersfield. It's 9:30:88. 9:30. Just imagining him coming back into the chat. Oh shit, the screen closed. Into the chat, like, why am I getting all these telemarketer? Why am I getting all these telemarketer like phone messages? Like they all have my information. I don't think they can like find information like that, you know. But okay, well, is it AM 6:58? Do you do something with music? In the AO, what is that thing? There's a song like that. In the AO, AM. Bakers. The song is like on repeat. Anyone else notice? Well, this birth chart's about to spice it up. Let's clear it. The Watcher. PM. Oh, yeah. Whoa. All right. So you got a lot going on in your birth chart. It's true. He's an Aries rising. However, your Mars is in the 12th house. This is interesting. This is like, okay, like, do you mind me asking you personal questions? Do you have a temper? Or just come out and say it now. You have a temper? Listen, Mars in the 12th sometimes can be like, especially in Aries, it's like Grrr. It's like Powerpuff Mad. Grrr. What happened? Oh no. Do you find some, okay, so like we gotta pin it. So do you it takes a lot of time it takes a lot to get you there. All right, that could be read in many ways. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise, because honestly, like Mars in Aries is with an Aries rising is very like a little impulsive, you know. In the 12th house, it's like, well, wait, like let's wait it out, you know. It brings like the understanding of like Neptune and Pisces. Like, do you find sometimes you're like, well, like, you know, I could take action, but like, who is honking out there, bro? Yeah, that's interesting. My mom has that. She doesn't have Mars in Aries though. You have your Venus in the 5th in Leo? Interesting. You hate arguing. Yeah. Interesting. Well, because your rising is Aries, which makes you sort of like very openly, like when people meet you, like do you find that you sometimes attract, not drama, but like, I mean, your Venus is in Leo in the 5th. But like, do you find that like sometimes there are situations where it's like, I don't want to handle this, like I don't want to be dealing with this, but like for some reason it's like coming to me? Because Mars in the 12th house, what's in the 12th is kind of like what you don't feel you have full access to, you know? So, hi Dylan, welcome. What's up? We're looking at someone's birth chart here. So yeah, the 12th house can feel inaccessible. The birth chart can feel inaccessible, but it's like interesting because the ruler of your rising, which is like the most outward energy, is Mars, and that is in the 12th house. So do you feel sometimes uncomfortable, or sometimes you feel like there are situations you're not ready for? Oh, interesting. Life of the party people always want me around. All right. You are sun sign Libra as well. But I think you do need deep connections. You do have Pluto in the 7th. Maybe do you sometimes feel like, well, a lot of people want to be around me, but like I have like standards and like I need them met. Like maybe sometimes you get frustrated, like if you're attracting energies that are just like, let's be real, like your sun is in the house of Virgo. You're also kind of Virgo. Yeah. You got quite a bit of Virgo actually. And your moon is in Gemini. You got a lot of Mercury. Damn. So this is maybe hard because like you might at times feel like, maybe at times you feel you have a duality energy, you know, like, well, I do want this, but like, nah, like, well, this is attractive, but like, is it really hitting on my values? Like, maybe sometimes you are kind of very picky as well. Is that the case? Is that the case? Like, do you feel that, or do you want to share that in the public chat? Like, Virgo can be very nitpicky, like extremely, but then you feel bad about it. It's like, well, I don't want to nitpick at that, but like, that's important to me. But then this is hard because you got a lot of fire and Leo. It's like, well, I'm able to appreciate, but it's not all about that. So maybe sometimes, you know, you've had experiences where you've gone through like, all right, I attracted that, or I could do this, but it hasn't satisfied me. And you have Pluto in the house of relationships in Scorpio with Mercury in Libra. So you might find that you really like, you grill the people you're with even at times. Like you need to come down to the people that you're with. I feel like they don't expect that though when they first meet you. They will figure that out over time. Like, damn, he's intense, or they are intense. Like, there's more to the story. Let's clear it. Do you feel like you're dealing with nonsense when it comes to relationships sometimes? Yeah, because like, even though you're a Libra, you're really kind of like a Virgo. Because it's where your sun is house-wise. I feel like you like to have like conversations like about stuff that's, people might find it argumentative at times or debate-like, but I think like maybe you find that you don't get along like as you want to get along with the people that you are with. I don't know what that means. Like maybe it's like you have maybe you want to be alone instead of being with someone who you feel you're gonna have a shallow connection with. But then you're like, but why then am I attracting somebody like that? Because you do have the sun in Virgo, Libra. Like, you might find that where people want to be around you, but the question is it going to satisfy you as you feel it? Like, you can attract a lot of people. Yeah. Like a little bit of a Venus flytrap energy with the Virgo and Libra. Like, you may know as well, like, what people want to hear, what they want to say, and you can say it. You know how to work it. Yeah. But then maybe that will, attract you relationships or experiences where then you don't feel like it's really real in that moment with that person, and then you're disappointed. Like, I think, so do you turn down these experiences if you do have, like, you want to be in a relationship and you want to be alone at the same time? So maybe you're not. So yeah, I think this comes down to like what you really feel. I think it's like kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like, because there's definitely like people who would be able to like be your type, but I think you're very picky. Like, I think that you have a very specific type. Not saying that like you're snooty, but like there's someone very specific for you. That's just what I feel. Like, you want to have a very maybe it's like that you want the person that you're with, like, you want to be able to respect that person and like have certain types of conversations with that person. Like, it needs to fulfill your overall life, if that makes sense. Like, you actually have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart. So when it really comes down to it, like, overall, like, you need to feel like maybe it's a question, the concept of the standard relationship is like a turn off in some ways. Maybe like you want to combine like, relationships with like even career, business, like, because you will get very bored, I feel, as well with the moon in Gemini. I think it's like, oh no, and you got Jupiter in Gemini, but you got Jupiter in the second house, so it's like, well, he disappeared. Where'd he go? I don't see his comments anymore after that. Right, you don't do shallow. I feel like you're not gonna be able to do shallow with a Pluto in the 7th, ever, within Scorpio. And I think that if you have anyone who's like kind of shallow, it's just, you're going to figure that shit out, and then you're just going to be really turned off, and you're not going to respect the relationship, and then you're just going to feel bad because you got into it, and then you're going to want to step right out but then maybe you feel like, but like, because you do have the Venus and Leo on the 5th, and then you got the Ascendant in Aries, and it's like, you attract this energy, and like, your love bubble, I hear that? You're a love bubble. Moon in Gemini. Moon in Gemini in the 3rd. It's like, listen, people want to be around you, but yeah, I think that no, you will get maybe drained even. It's like, oh, I just can't. Like, they're pulling on my aura. So let's clear it. But this is, yeah, I think it's going to come to your career, because I'm looking at your 9th house stellium with your Saturn and your Uranus and your Neptune right on your midhaven. Like, so what are you doing with your career? Because maybe you're feeling like, well, maybe I want to be in like a relationship before, like, because honestly, maybe it's that let's be honest, I mean, it's you before the relationship. Like, maybe it's like that you have a very unique career path, and then when you're in alignment with that, then you will find who you're really in alignment with. If that makes sense. Like, I feel like, yeah, I don't think a traditional connection would really, I think you have to feel that you're really integrated with that person and that you're working towards a unanimous mission. Let's clear around. You have a tarot deck, The Watcher? Thank you for your super chat. Hannah, let's look at your chart. But even though I know, like, the other day people were like super chatting, we had like a handful of people who put their birth chart in, and I was like, I didn't get to it because I didn't have time. And we needed to take a break, and it was, I didn't have time. We had to pull back our energy field. So, but thank you guys for your super chats. Clear room. Let's take a look. Oh, you're a Pisces. 3-8. (4:51 p.m.) Let's clear it around. Odessa, Texas. Hannah. Let's clear it again in brown. Let's see. Wow. You have Mars in Sagittarius? Conjunct Pluto? This is interesting because, okay, well, when it comes to general attraction, I feel like you might share a stroke. You may share a stroke with the Watcher, because the person we just read on, because you also have quite a bit of Scorpio here, even though it's in Sag with Mars. You still have the rulers of you've got the traditional ruler Pluto, the traditional ruler Pluto. Okay, the traditional ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, conjunct Mars, which is the secondary ruler of Scorpio. Did we just say the ruler of Pluto? We have the traditional ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, conjunct the secondary ruler of Scorpio, Mars, conjunct. Mars is what really, I mean, your Mars sign is very important when it comes to attraction. I'm assuming that you're kind of like maybe asking about that. Annabelle, thank you so much for your super chat. I just saw that. Thank you so much. Let's clear around. Let's see here. Yeah. You got a lot of Scorpio. You may at times feel like you really also have a very high standard when it comes to, you don't want to just get into relationships, and you might find that like, yeah, no, you have a very high standard. Venus in Aries. So, Jupiter and Gemini, yeah. Sun in Pisces. Yeah, so there's a, yeah, but in a general way, because I feel bad because yesterday a lot of people were super chatting, or a few days ago people were super chatting. Not that I feel bad, but we never got to them. And so technically, but there's always a reason for everything. So, but yeah, you guys, thank you so much for your support and for tuning in. I think in general, like, to get back to it, like, you know, there are many things that can sort of satisfy you. And I think you have to be honest with yourself, you know, with what really does it for you. Maybe sometimes, you know, we think we want something, but we don't want that thing. Maybe it's not the best thing truly for us, right? And maybe at a certain point, it's like you just have to cut it as well. You have to, like, be just really clear and really honest and just be like, hey, that is no longer serving me. That is no longer doing it for me. At a certain point, okay, yeah, you have to speak up in your connection. I hear this as well for whoever is watching. Maybe you're in a connection and, like, you see, you know, you know how many times I have sort of been in a space where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I even looked at their birth chart and I was like, wow, well, technically, like, this is supposed to be like this or like that. And this is an example of the Capricorn experience that I recently had, you know, where I looked at the birth chart, I was like, wow, technically they got a lot of Capricorn, technically that's so grounding, but, like, that doesn't necessarily mean that I am going to be, like, satisfied by that just because someone has a certain particular archetype of energy. So it really has to come back around to you in terms of also where you feel at any point in time. And no matter who it is, it should always empower you also as an individual. Like, it should never, ever, ever be that this person is like your absolute, like, they're my perfect type. Because then if that really comes down to that, then that's going to be conditional. And in situations like, we're going to then feel that we're dependent on that person. Like, we're going to feel that we need that person to be more of ourselves, which is the illusion. And personally, I can see for myself that when I met this Capricorn, and even just being with this Capricorn over time, like, I was honestly at the point of, like, wow, This is like so important. Like this connection is so important, and like I appreciate and I respect this like person or this energy or whatever it is. And it's like, but okay, for what it is, but what does it bring me back to with myself in my own relationship with myself, that I realize I also want to acknowledge within me for myself. Not where I say this person has like so and so things, and you know, like we should never make excuses for people also based on their birth chart. And like I have honestly done that, where I'm like, well, technically, like, you know, it's like, but that's no. I can appreciate certain things about certain people, but like if it's about certain energetic placements even, or like who they are as who they are for themselves, but like if it's or just in general, like their energetic disposition. But it's like, what about our interaction? Your synastry is always really important, and a lot goes into that. There's an amazing astrologer. Her name is Jewel Mayberry. Jewel Mayberry. She talks about synastry and like your points that are really important to note when it comes to synastry, because that can tell you so much. It's so not enough to be like, oh, there's some sign this or some sign that. Like if you've got like a lot of like South Node contacts, or you got a lot of Pluto contacts, or you have a lot of Jupiter contacts, like it's gonna give a different flavor. And you want to know like if ultimately a connection is like gonna be empowering you or draining you, or does it have the capacity to. Okay. No particular alignment will be inherently negative or toxic, but it can be if those two individuals are not in complete light with that energy, if that makes sense. So yeah, for example, you can meet someone who's very Saturnian, but if they're not in the higher form of expression, wow, you see that orb? Whoa, you see those orbs? Wow, I felt that go by. Yep. Angels in the room. I felt that so strongly right there. I don't know if you guys caught it. It was 2. They came right by my left arm. Wow. If I could so if we were saying, okay, so if that person is not in the light with their Saturnian energies, for example, then it's what does it become, right? You saw them as low? Yeah, wow, that was incredible. They were big. But I first saw it, and there's nothing, and I felt the air on that. It was like it was a flutter by my arm. Whoa. Yeah. Hi, Jason. So we can never say that it's inherently anything, and like maybe you're meeting a Scorpio and you know that Scorpios are like so and so, and you know, but are they an evolved Scorpio? Where are they at with their Scorpio energy? So I think that's quite important. Wow. Yeah, I saw it right with the reflection of the dish, the washing machine. It was like electric right here. Whoa. Yeah. Wow. So let's clear down the back. Caro. Wow. Yeah. It says a reading titled "With Angels in the Room." Yeah, I think you're right. Right. Wow. Yeah. It could be many. Yeah. Well, I do know that you guys know I'm a Scorpio rising, and my Pluto is conjunct my ascendant. So when I was born, there was a significant death in the family, and it was overlapping with my how do we say, with my birth. Okay, so and typically they say that those who are Scorpio rising, they will have some sort of experience upon their transition into this dimension. And so yeah, I feel that this is someone who is obviously, there's a reason I think for everything. And the transit, right? The transit, there's some kind of you know, overlap with that. So yeah. So a significant relative. And they, you know, people have mentioned that they see like an older man standing behind me when I do readings. So it could be. They're around. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. It was like a few months before I was born. Yeah, they passed. So yeah. But like he would speak to me like through the womb. And yeah, so it's kind of interesting. No. In general, you mean Austin? No. Yeah. Let's clear around. Yeah. Interesting, though. As a kid, let's clear around. Pluto rising, Caro. And almost died at birth. Wow. Yeah, they say that there's something like the Pluto rising will always have some sort of like, how do we say, like the Scorpio energy will be prominent surrounding that individual as they I'm hearing as they ascend. Wow. But as they are birthed. So there's some kind of energy surrounding that person that is associated with the archetype of Scorpio. So there is something like, yeah, intense. Flood? I was a water polo player. I was a swimmer. Around. My dad is a Scorpio rising as well, actually. Oh, you're also a swimmer. Wow. You hear the honks out there? Interesting. You're a swimmer and a diver. Interesting. Yeah, I did water polo and swimming, and I was mostly backstroke. Any other Scorpio risings? You would do swimming? Oh, really? Any mods? Oh, no. Nelly, let me add you as a mod. So, but the rising is important. That's like a lot of who you are. Yara, the name of the music is New York Jazz. Relaxed jazz, bar classics. So yeah. Caitlin, your dad is a Scorpio rising too? Wow. So my dad is a Scorpio rising, and he also has Mars in the 8th, I think, or something. I think he has Mars. No, he has Mars in Aries, but I thought it was in the 8th, maybe. I think it's actually in the 6th, but yeah, that would be because he's Scorpio rising. But he, wow, I'm seeing angels here, you guys. He is, yeah, very Scorpio, but he's also very Aries. Like, he is very Aries. And yeah, intense. He's very active, extremely like physically active, like he's very athletic. He has a Venus in Gemini, just like my mom. Yep. My mom has a Mars conjunct Pluto in the 12th. What do you guys think about Lilith? Let's clear the heart chakra. I have Lilith. Where's my Lilith at? Let's see. What do you guys think about Lilith? I have Lilith in Sag. I'm not too. I haven't dug deeply with Lilith. Anyone can tell me about Lilith? Nelly says, I love the cemetery. And it must be the Scorpio. My sister loves stuff like that. She's a sun sign Aries, and she's stuff like that sounds disrespectful, but yeah, no, she's like, you know what I mean? She's not afraid of like, she's not like, she's drawn to the stuff, like, but then sometimes she's like, she doesn't want to tarot read, so it's funny, but yeah, people have their ways, but and their times that they explore things. But she's a North Node Scorpio, and she's got Pluto at 0 degrees, and she's got her Sun in the house of 7th house / 8th house. So she's, and her Mercury I think is also 7th / 8th. She's very Scorpio actually, and if you watch her in our if you were to watch her in our the video we did together, she was like very Scorpio looking. I think everyone thought she was a Scorpio. She looked very Scorpio there. But yeah, one time we did a reading together on the channel, like live. But yeah, what's going on? Her moon is in Gemini. Her south node in Taurus. She's like a rock star. She's got like 3 grand trines, or 3 grand fire trines. She's a rising Virgo. But I have seen Pluto in her, let me tell you. Oh, let me tell you. I have seen Pluto in her roll through. And she's, yeah, but she is a Sun Aries, but like still. I never really, oh, her Venus is in Pisces. I've never really seen her as like a Scorpio. Like I always kind of like growing up associated her as like, I've always associated her as an Aries, even especially before I really got into like, you know, tarot and astrology. But then more so recently I realized she is fucking water sign-ish. Yeah. Very Scorpio, very Pisces. The one thing that tripped me out is that she is so her Venus sign. Like I have seen her, I hope I'm not exposing too much. I have seen her so hardcore Pisces. Yeah. And I've seen that in her even before I knew about astrology, but I was like, oh, what's that? She seems like she would get, yeah, I've seen it in her, like, and that's coming from a sun sign Pisces. So it's interesting, like the Venus can, yeah, someone's Venus sign can seriously, she's got her Mars in Leo, it's in the house of Aquarius. My sister, yeah. Yep, she can make me cry, you guys. She's done it. But she's also my sister, you know. So, but like, yeah, but she's very funny, you guys. Her moon is in Gemini in the 9th house, in the house of Sagittarius. Yeah, but But yeah, I mean, every energy has its moments. Like, she can be very much like, you know, I mean, yeah. A lot of fire energy. A lot of mutable. A lot of like dynamic energy. So, but Nellie was saying that she's into cemeteries, and that's what got us on that convo. I honestly haven't gotten into Lilith. Like, I haven't gotten into it. I'm not really familiar, like, with the backstory of Lilith. Like, I haven't really looked into it into my own birth chart. Like, what about you, Austin? What do you think? Or anybody who's familiar with Lilith? My Lilith is in Sag at 24 degrees. In the second house. In Sag. Yeah, I said that. Yeah. Venus, Pisces. Very, yeah. That's also exalted. Venus in Pisces is exalted for Pisces. So you got a lot of Venus, you got a lot of Pisces. If you got the exalted Venus in Pisces, that's like a strong placement. That's a strong, and yeah, and it's understandable. She's an artist. She's a musician, performer. So it's clearing around. Oh, you got Lilith and Sag. Oh, with Pluto. So, like, what does Lilith mean? Like, okay, so I'll be honest. Like, so you guys maybe do reverse astrology. Like, I can get very, like, at times I can, well, I don't know if it would be paranoid, but, like, if someone is, like, trying to dupe me, that doesn't fly with me. I get, like, is that a Lilith thing? Ooh, so what do you think? Oh. So what does that mean? Like, if my Lilith is in Sag, what does it mean? In the second house, it means I'm a lusty bitch? What does that mean? Dusk says she's your inner bitch. Your inner biatch. Is it the shadow of the sign in, like, the house? Does this have to do with Mary Magdalene? So if, like, my Lilith is in Sag, like, how would somebody interpret that? Let's clear around. Let's take a look. Lilith and Sagittarius. Nobody wants to say. Nobody wants to be like Nat. All right. Oh, shit. Dangerous, eh? So what, like, does this mean, like, where I can go dark with people, or so-called? So-called? Lilith and I'm reading this. It says, Lilith and Sagittarius refuses to be satisfied. Here, the Sagittarian nature to explore and run wild turns into utter restlessness and a knack for avoiding commitment. Ah, shit. Isn't this kind of what we're talking about? Like me wanting to go to New York? But I mean, can this also be their empowerment? Because I find that, like, this is something that is part of my character. Oh, interesting. Z says it's the location of your dark moon, which is the opposite of your moon sign. You mean witch, like, as, like, a witch? Or you mean witch as, like, the transition? Because you capitalize witch and you spelled it like witch, like on the broom, witch on the broom vibe, or not to make a generalization, but, you know. Okay. Dark moon. So, okay, so my moon is in Sag, though, as well. So how is it the opposite? Oh, dusk. Oh, but yeah, I do that. I do that, though, yeah. Dusk says, but you disappoint people if you flee too often. That's a downfall. Yeah, I do that. I admit that. I do that. But I have to do that. I have to be real to myself. But that's yeah. We'll let the music do the talking. So isn't this kind of like Pluto? Is Lilith kind of like Pluto then? Julie B says, if you face temper and accept the shadow side, it empowers you. If not, it causes problems. Almost like a certain grade of Chiron. Like Chiron can be where you feel like so victimized, and then if you come to sort of manifest with that energy down the line in terms of healing with yourself, then that's where your power is to heal others. Is that kind of what Lilith is like? I would assume there's a shadow and light to any placement. People are often left down by Lilith and Sagittarius, who often end up rearranging plans or flaking on them completely. Can be. That's clear. But like honestly, like I mean, I am also like in the light with that. I'm actually very like loyal. I'm actually very like. I think I gotta meditate on this energy. Yeah, I got it. Well, maybe it's like it can be where you liberate certain, because if it is your so-called shadow, like maybe it's a matter of like the interaction with light in that space. So if you're doing it out of like selfishness, then that's one thing. But like if it is harnessed, it's good. Z says not as needy as Pluto. Oh. So how will this play out? How will Lilith play out in the birth chart? Like, oh, it's your natural impulses. Interesting, Dusk. So I mean, my moon is also in Sag. So, but wait, my Lilith is in the sign of Sag, but it's in the house of Taurus. So it's like it makes it kind of Taurus Sag. Like, so my impulses are kind of like Taurus and kind of Sag. Right. That's what I would think, not necessarily like it's neutral. It's what you do with it, as with any place in the birth chart. Because like, I mean, I can say that I'm not like, I would never do that, like, for, like, I would never, flee somebody, you know? But I'm very independent, so like, you know? Let's read more. Okay. It says, okay, so the light is ambitious and capable, and the dark is unreliable. Okay. Listen, I mean, I can see where that can be. Yeah, I've seen that. Like, I have seen the shadow of Lilith. Yeah, sure. But I'm also very Pisces. But, yeah. But it's weird because, like, I can be very, like, I can flip. I can be extremely, like, reliable. But then I can be very unreliable at times. But it depends on, like, the scope. But I will never, like, fuck someone, like, over, you know? Of course. I mean, this is obvious. Just how it's obvious that we should hide this troll, Judith. So we'll do that. Let's clear it. Let's get the vacuum on Judith. Judith Prudence. Judith, where are you at, Judith? I'm moving! Sweeten up the chat a bit. Some more candy. Like, what the fuck are you even typing, alias? Strange. Oh, Austin, you weren't here earlier. You weren't here earlier. We were talking about that. Okay, the people who are like, what in the world? Oh dear. I should have prefaced that. We were talking about the Venus-Pluto conjunction. Yeah, no. No, bro. Listen, she's crazy. Yeah, there's that tag again. No, listen. I knew it. Listen, I knew it. I should have just listened to my first hunch. I don't know. I'm giving you like the Texas accent, but no, she's crazy, bro. She's fucking crazy, bro. She brought her like vacuum out, like. Oh my god, it's your first time here, Dusk? Well, welcome. Hey, you're a trooper. My first and my last. Clear the ground. Okay, those who were like, holy god, why is she vacuuming the chat? Earlier, we were talking about Venus. Was it voodoo? Well, take it as you will. Venus conjunct Pluto. And how we're talking about the karma of that, how that's going to like play out kind of in an interesting way. And I said it was kind of like I was getting a vision of like the Teletubby vacuum. Let me bring it up again. I was saying I think Spirit's going to be vacuuming all the bullshit, like all of like, you know. And so then we were making a joke because then the trolls came out in the chat. Oh yeah, it was in the timing of that was just, and it was all symbolic. And so where I was like, we were like vacuuming the chat. And so that, yeah. So, wow. For those of you who are like your first time, bro. Like, unsubscribe? Like, where's my code at? Okay, let me pull this up though. For those who would like further familiarity with the Teletubby reference, it was the Teletubby vacuum. Alright. Yeah, rest assured, Dusk. All the bullshit. Well, because listen, yeah, we were talking about Venus going retrograde and then it making a secondary contact to Pluto. So tomorrow, Venus conjuncts Pluto, like exact. It goes exact with that conjunct. And then on January 28th, we see a secondary kiss with Venus and Pluto, like that, the same degree. So this is, and I was getting the vision that Spirit's going to be vacuuming all the karmic energy. This is what I was just getting. So, and then the Spirit, and then the trolls came out. And they were going berserko in the chat, and they were getting and then so we had to just and we did it like an actual representation with the real vacuum. Some people were like ASMR. I'm sure some people checked out, but let's go. Teletubby vacuum. Yeah, because with all the Saturn energy, like, how can we not clean up just like all the clear the BS, like, yeah. So yeah, it was earlier today. We talked more astrology there, and like, yeah. So yeah, that's the vacuum from Teletubbies. Yep. Well, that's a great question. Blank says, what does that mean for soul connections? I think like a lot of the chaos and the white noise of like, is this my twin flame, my lover, all of the energy of the gaslighting, I'm hearing that as well, is going to be blown out of the vibe itself. And we're going to be faced with exactly the situation for what it is. I think it sort of just means that like the sideways energy of not being able to tell where people are really at with us, and like the halfway, and the like, well, I sort of see it, and then I sort of see that, and that, yeah, I sort of understand like where they're going with that, and like I'm gonna make an excuse for that. We'll keep going with that. Like that, I feel Spirit is just Saturn doesn't have time for that. It's gonna be like like we were literally making the example, like Saturn's gonna come and like suction all of the cords that you have to like toxic people. And this, I'm surprised. Like I'm just waiting now in the chat for aliases to flip and go completely berserko. Probably people who are trying to do like manipulative energy tactics and work. Yeah, Saturn's coming for you. Saturn's coming for you. So this is just a heads up. Love and light. Let's clear around. But yeah, because right now it's like kind of still, you feel the like hazy signal a little bit maybe, but you don't have to if you're feeling like yeah, it's all good. But I'm just getting that like it's going to be this harsh, sobering ass reality, especially for people who've got a lot of water in their chart. Okay. Yeah. The people with a lot of water in the chart are going to just feel like this. I feel like this Venus retro in Capricorn is going to just be just so like the answer. Like we may look back and be like, I wish I knew that. Like, goddamn, like, bro, like, you know, reptilians. Yeah. So yeah, they didn't like hearing that. I was like, yep, Saturn's going to come and vacuum all the cords up. You know? And then it's like, god damn, these aliases from like, yeah, so let's just clear the energy and ground. Like these people, okay, who are creating like they're narcissistic energies and they're vampires ultimately. Okay? But there's a reason for why this has been, and Spirit, and we talked about this. Definitely go check out that video if you feel guided. But we talked about like how there's a reason. Like if something is confusing, sometimes how loud do people laugh? Like you hear that guy? Like, there's a Huckleberry Finn out there. Oh my god. Like, let's clear love and light. I don't want to be mean, but like, sheesh. Okay, so, like, but yeah, no, it's like a whole moment. Like, probably drunk. But anyways. So, you know, and there's a reason. So I feel like y'all, you see that wave out there right now? Sure, we know, you see it, you understand, but you're gonna get on the wave though when the wave approaches. It's like, all right, I got you some way. Like I feel like I'm kind of like a sedated Furby right now a little bit. I know that I know a lot more than I am letting myself on to act on. I hear that as well. Ooh. So there are things that we are being held out on, and I feel like Venus in retrograde in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, which is a no shit, no messing around planet. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's honestly going to come through so clearly, I feel. But this is just my hunch. Feel free to let us know what happens. Is he trying to like hail a cab? Like, bro, you okay? People are really like rowdy, but I do live somewhere pretty busy, so maybe I can't get so upset, but I've definitely like screamed out the window a few times, like especially during Scorpio season. I think it's gonna clean up BS. Well, yeah, it's going to clean up, it's going to clear the fog, the haze. And I think that, like, honestly, people have got a lot of water in their charts, especially the fact that, like, Neptune has been retrograde in Pisces, like, and that hasn't happened since the witch trials, you know. We've had so much go down. Like, in this last year, we had, like, almost all planets retrograde at the same time, and we had that even during the pandemic. There's so much that's going on, you know? And so I feel like for those who are water signs, like those who possibly have a lot of water in their chart, don't have a lot of earth naturally, Venus going retrograde in Capricorn is going to be like, I feel that saving grace moment where it's like, I see the portals wide open. I'm going to go for it. I see it so clearly. You feel it's going to be messy until April? Really, Austin? I feel the earth energy. Well, let's see. I think that let's get a card on that for fire signs. You guys, how do you like get a How do you get a banana to ripen on demand? Anyone know? It's like not ready yet to be peeled. Anybody have any way about that? I feel like it's gonna not be tasty though. It's gonna have that like taste to it. If I try to just claw it open. But I just really kind of, I would like the banana. Maybe I can still eat it. It'll be a little unripe, but it's all right. Oh no, I don't think it's ready. Actually, it's good. All right. Let's get a card for fire signs. Let's check it out. Five of Pentacles. The bullshit definitely is going to be very clear. I think it's going to be obvious. But that's also the number 5. This is Leo. Okay, honestly, oh my god. Okay, like I used to do that. I used to put it in the fridge and it would never ripen. I was like, what is going on? Green as the grass grows, my bananas. Yeah. But that's okay. But yeah, it would keep them preserved. It would help them from not going like more like, you know, into histamine world. Like way too musty, overdone bananas. Clear. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. In your birth. King of Wands in reverse. Oh, the 7 of Pentacles are bright. Okay, so I feel like those who have made decisions like, well, this is related to the fire energy in anybody's chart, okay? I'm talking with banana in my mouth. This is like a situation where like you thought it was a great idea. I see a lot of situations like, I thought it was a wonderful idea. What went wrong? Okay. Oh no. Well, but we talked about this. Let's clear it around. I think in general, okay, like the Saturn retro with Venus is going to be like important. And we shouldn't fear it because at the end of the day, it's going to bring like a more realistic energy to that part of the chart. When it comes to what we really want to manifest, like truly down in the long term. So if you were thinking something's a great idea, Saturn's going to come through possibly and roll by and be like, that's not going to work. And at first you might be like, hey, I was like trying to make the green grass grow. Like I need my banana like ripen on demand. Like it's like, yeah. And then Spirit's going to come through and possibly kind of just be like, listen, okay. That's just not what you want really. You know? Like, that's just not, and I think it's in your highest interest, but this is a general video. You always have to make your decision. I'm seeing somebody with green nail polish here. You take it as you will. But yeah, we might decide to like completely step out of a certain space. Like, what was I fucking thinking? 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Like, we may wake up and have a realization like, that's not going to be where I'm going to take myself, my story, you know? Yeah, and it's gonna be it's like a Mercury retrograde, you know, like at the beginning of Mercury retrograde, when banana torch. Okay, when you during Mercury retrograde, like you have those moments where you just look back and you're like, it's so obvious. Like, how did I not realize this in the past? You know. So, like, I mean, some people have said that. They said, what about a podcast? I don't really know the difference. Like, I know it's just without the video. But, like, what would it be about? Nothing, not. It's just, like, we're, like, you know, banana antics are just distracting. Curious if you've ever considered just not having a video on, like... Oh, with a video. Wait, what? So I don't know what a podcast is then. What is a podcast? Somebody said, like, if you do a podcast, I can listen to your videos at work. I was like, you can also still listen. You might get fired, but like you can still listen. But like, what's the difference, right? Are they fighting? No, they're laughing. Oh, like an interview space. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely thought of that, like an interview thing for sure. Yeah. So by podcast, you mean like, like what do you mean? Like interview, like Oprah or something like that? Like not with a microphone, right? Austin, yeah, if Austin interviewed me, he'd be like, all right, listen, we know you're weird, we got that. Just like, why? Just want to know why. Why is it the way it is? Like, I don't know. I'm just making an example. Like, I don't even think that Oprah does her thing anymore, right? Or like a radio show. Hold on. So like podcast like is with a video? So what's the difference between like, yeah. As long as you can still eat our banana on the date. Dr. Phil style. Definitely thought of that. Yeah, I was thinking of that. Maybe like people could even like submit their questions and then we could roast them on the channel. But how is it? How's it different from a podcast? Like you mean more like I could ask questions of people or like they submit information or we interview and then be right back. It's like not, listen, have you ever considered getting serious with your life? Oh dear. But wait, this is distracting us from what's happening to fire signs. Austin, you're Leo, right? I was like, listen, we don't need to talk about the downfall. Whatever needs to happen to Leos happen. What are they like in the jungle with that? You guys hear that guy? Who's he whistling to? He sounds like he's like hailing like a gorilla cab. A bird. Aw, man. Well, as a Leo, how have you felt? Because like the Leo readings have been crazy this last year. I mean, I've heard like Leo King, he's been through a lot this year, it seems. I tried to interact on his channel and I got like cussed out. I like commented on one of his videos. I was like, hey, he was going through a real tough time. I was like, hey, like you like help. You were one of the first people I watched on like tarot, you know, more astrology. And I come back and I see someone trolled the fuck out of my comment on his page. I was like, what in the hell is wrong with that shit right there? What kind of karma is that? It's very strange. Yeah, and they were like, you're such a weirdo. What a weirdo. Like, what a weird ass person you are. Like, on your channel. Like, I know you. It was like, okay. It's like I got bullied on someone. It's like the strangest shit. But it is what it is. It's clearing around. It's all good. Yeah, he's very as it is. But he's been through a lot. And so, but to say like, yeah, he's a Leo. And how do you feel about, I mean, the Leo in my chart has, I mean, it's been like a lot of pressure, but I've definitely, when in the beginning of the channel, I did not have as many trolls. No way. I mean, this year, like, I felt like I was big. Well, the last few years, I feel like I've been target, like the last 2 years. Definitely not 3 years ago. Like people started getting fucking weird on the internet, and like they were just like getting weird and like stalkers and like, oh god, like I had a whole like moment with the police department. It was just like another level. Like, I mean, that was also the case like here and there in the beginning of the channel, but like I don't know. But in general, this has been with a lot of tarot readers online. There have been a lot of like targeting like that, and I know actually someone was saying that like the CIA had to get involved with some people. I don't know, but anyways. The Leo season this year was really at another level. So, but anyways, guys, this was really fun. I think we will probably take a break, and yeah, we have another pick a card reading coming. Stay tuned for that. We'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe at some point. And if not, in the chat later tonight. Love and light to you guys. Thank you so much for your support, for your super chats. Those of you who were in the chat here earlier, super chatting. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Played Dungeon Ground. But yeah, it's gonna be some interesting times.